Hey guys, so I wanted to come and have a little chat with you all, just because I've obviously been back on YouTube for a couple of weeks now, amongst all the things going on in the world, and I did address it in, I think, my I'm back weekend vlog, that I didn't really want to talk much about what was going on, and that I wanted to kind of leave my videos as like an escapism. I didn't really want to talk about what was going on, which is why I kind of changed the way I was doing my vlogs and didn't do it as like a proper kind of what was going on in the day and kind of thing, because all of you are no doubt aware of what's going on right now. You can look on Instagram and there's stuff on there, on Facebook, on the TV. It's everywhere, which is why I didn't really want my vlogs to be like, oh, you know, woe is me. I didn't want to go down that route. But I had a comment recently on my, I think it was on my last video, I'm not 100% sure, I think it was, asking me to do like a little kind of how I'm coping with isolation kind of video. And although there was kind of two ways of doing it, there was like the tip side of things and the generally like the personal kind of side of it. I was like, yeah, do you know what, I want to sit down and do that video, because I don't want people to come across my channel and think, oh, you know, she's just like completely brushing it off. Like, no, that is not the case. Like I said, I just wanted kind of my little space to be this kind of escapism. Obviously it's me coming back to YouTube after quite a lot of time off, sorry. So yeah, I will kind of throw a couple of things as in terms of like what I am doing to help me through this time, like at the end. But I just wanted to kind of go through like kind of how I'm feeling at the moment. Obviously this video is going to sound really like selfish and that everything's on me, but I just wanted to give my personal kind of thoughts on what's going on and how I'm feeling, just in case there is anyone else out there that kind of feels the same. I don't want you to feel like your feelings aren't valid right now, so I want you to know that you're not alone. And if you do need to talk to anyone at any point, obviously I'm all ears, so slide into my DMs at any point. But yeah, anyways, so let's flash back to a few weeks ago before the UK went into lockdown. So like I said, I've been away from YouTube for quite a while, so many of you probably don't know what I've kind of been up to in terms of work and things like that. So I did a summer temp job last year, just a little part-time office job, and I really enjoyed it. I really did enjoy it. But that came to an end just due to the length of the contract in the end of August, early September of 2019. So that was that. Kind of closed that chapter off for a bit, and I went self-employed. So if you don't already know, I am a qualified beauty therapist. I am qualified nail technician, but I don't practice nails. I only do kind of the beauty side of things. So I went self-employed doing that. Now, I know people are probably going to come at me, but if you've been self-employed / are self-employed, you'll probably understand kind of my process and why I didn't do this. But I never registered as self-employed, so I didn't register my business, purely because obviously I was just starting out. I wasn't really earning very much, like, you know, sometimes £10 a week, if that. So it was so low, so it just got to the point where I was like, do you know what, I'll wait until I'm earning X amount per week or whatever, and then I'll obviously register myself and do all of that kind of side of things. So yeah, so come, I think it was February, March time, I received a email from my agency that I was working at my old office job through last year, and they said, did you want to go back to the same place to do the same thing, same hours, everything else? And I was like, oh my god, couldn't have come a better timing, because my business had kind of slowed down a bit after Christmas naturally. I was struggling a little bit mentally and financially. I am on my own at the moment. I have been since the 23rd of December when my husband deployed. So yeah, it's been tough. So I was like, yeah, that sounds amazing. Like, to be able to have some human contact again, some interaction with other people, and to just earn some kind of guaranteed money. So that was the plan. So I went back at the end of 1 week. I can't remember dates and stuff, but I went back, did a few days. It was the weekend, so I was off. And then I went back in on the Monday, and obviously this is at the point where we were starting to do kind of social distancing and things like that. So went in on the Monday, and I came home and I felt a bit weird, like a bit chesty. So I have got asthma, but it's quite mild. So I never really ever have to bother with it so much, unless like I've got a cold and stuff, which then tends to kind of spiral things. But yeah, so that Monday evening I just felt a bit kind of crappy, almost like I was getting a cold, that kind of thing, and my chest felt just a bit heavier than normal, and I thought it was a bit weird. So I was like, right, have an early night, I'll go to bed and I'll feel fine in the morning. So I woke up and I felt really chesty still. And at the time, the government guidelines were to, you know, isolate and quarantine yourself if you had any kind of symptoms, like a cough or fever or whatever. But because of my asthma, I was like, do you know what? My chest never normally feels like this. So the fact that it has, and I'd had my in-laws down at the weekend, I was like, it's not worth the risk. Not even just for me passing it on, but to expose myself even more if I'm at just a stage of my immune system that's just like about to get a cold. I was like, do you know what, it's not worth the risk. So I then proceeded to isolate for the week. So then I contacted one of the girls on the Sunday just to say, oh, I'm going to pop in earlier tomorrow because I'm going to get a lift in with my friend instead of getting the bus, just to again avoid any kind of unnecessary kind of contact with people like on the bus and stuff. So messaged her that. She messaged me back, but I was already asleep. So I woke up on the Monday morning really early, because obviously I was going to go in with my friend, to a message to say there's been a ban on temps, so like kind of don't bother coming in, just email the agency and kind of find out. So emailed them, they didn't get back to me until after I was due to start, but obviously I didn't go in. And I think it was that day, was it on that Tuesday or that Wednesday? I can't remember 100%, but it was that week at least that the Prime Minister obviously decided that we were gonna go into lockdown. And it's not like a full lockdown, but it's, if you can work from home, you do work from home, kind of don't go out kind of otherwise unless you need to go for food and things like that. So I was like, right, well, my job can't be done from home. Well, I think it can, but because I'm a temp, I can't do mine from home. I'd already closed the business a week prior because of my asthma symptoms and not wanting to risk things. So that was on the kind of go slow for a little while, and then obviously I had to make the decision to just close for the foreseeable. So that brings us to now. It's the 6th of April today. I think this video is going to go up today. It's been weird. I'm not the only person that's going to say that, but it's been weird. It's been difficult. It's just incomprehensible. I don't think anyone knows what to do with themselves at the moment. Obviously, we do still have like key workers and stuff, like nurses and doctors and people that just generally work in the NHS and people that work in supermarkets and for delivery companies and things like that. I know at least my dad, my sister, my brother-in-law, they're all still working. And yeah, it's just weird. And I almost don't know what to think. I've been really fortunate recently that I've only had one day where I felt really low, mental health wise. But for the most part, I don't know, it's almost as if my brain's too full of other stuff that I almost haven't had time to get anxious, which is a good thing. But at the same time, it's just like, it's that weird and eerie. Like, I've even got goosebumps talking about this. It's just, yeah. So I'm in this weird headspace, as many of us are. I've only left the house twice in 3 weeks to go for a walk. And yeah, Joe's due home in like 2 weeks. So hopefully it can feel somewhat normal when he gets back. Like, I'll just have that bit of kind of, I'll have that human interaction and I'll have someone else to do things with, and I think it will just make me feel a little bit more like everybody else, because at the moment, and I mean for the last 3 months or 3.5 months anyway, I felt very, I don't know, like I'm in the back seat compared to everyone else. Now, if any of you are like a military spouse of any sort, not just wives or husbands or whatever, but even if you're just a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever, you will probably understand the feeling of when they deploy, you just kind of feel like your life is on hold for however long they're away for. And that's kind of what I felt like. And now almost everybody else is starting to feel like that because of the whole Rona. So, yeah. I don't really know where I'm going with this. But I just feel, I don't know, I just feel really weird. Really weird. But, I don't know, there's pros and cons. There's really is pros and cons to this whole situation. But at the moment, like, I feel okay, and I'll probably go on to a couple of the things, like I say, in a minute, on as to how I kind of got to this place and how I'm coping and everything else. But yeah, my heart really does go out to everybody right now, especially those that are in a similar situation to myself, not just in terms of losing their job, but well, obviously my heart goes out to you as well, because that is fucking shit. But to have like a family member not be there, it's really tough. Like, it's tough at the best of times, but to then kind of throw this on top, it's just like everyone says, well, you know, something always goes wrong while they're away. It's like, yay, fucking pandemic, brilliant. But yeah, anyway, basically I've been ranting for 14 minutes about how I feel weird. So you're not alone. Yeah, like I say, if anyone kind of feels like they want to talk about anything, then please feel free to just message me. I've got my Instagram linked down below, so just ping me a message on there and we'll have a chat. But yeah, so in terms of things that I have been doing to help me, so it's kind of been things that I'd been doing prior to lockdown for kind of coping mechanisms for deployment. So they've kind of transitioned into this, which is kind of good. So I'd already been kind of mentally there. So there's a few things that I've been doing personally that I found to help me. So one of them is to get ready. Now, a lot of people say this if they are people that are fortunate enough to be able to work from home. A lot of people do say that that just gives you the motivation to actually work and be productive. is to just kind of get up, get dressed as you normally would. I know it almost seems pointless, like especially putting makeup off just to wash it off again a few hours later, and no one's gonna even see it apart from you. But it just mentally, it ticks this box that makes you, I don't know, but it works for me, so that's what I've been doing. So yeah, I've been getting ready, been putting makeup on most days. I mean, I'm not dressing properly because I don't see the point in wearing jeans if I'm gonna be in the house, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you. But yeah, so that's number one, which, like I say, I've kind of carried out for the last 3.5 months anyway. The second thing I would say is to just try and almost not forget about what's going on, but just almost just push it just to the back of your mind. Like, obviously it's going to be there, like I say, it's kind of everywhere at the moment, but don't actively look for news and things like that. Like, if there's something that you need to know about, you're gonna know about it. So yeah, maybe if you are someone that kind of checks the news every few hours, maybe just limit it to once a day. Check it kind of in the morning, get it out of the way and go about your day. Just don't let it consume you, because that will just do nothing good for your mental health. So yeah, my third thing would probably be to just try and stay in contact with people. I know a lot of us are kind of turning to video calls and things now, which is amazing. But yeah, it's definitely beneficial to all of us right now to just keep in contact with people, whether that is family, friends, whatever. Just give them a quick call for even 5 minutes in a day, just to have that other person to talk to, because you may have, you know, your partner, your kids, whatever, flatmates at home, but it is nice to just talk to somebody else. So yeah, definitely make sure you're in contact with other people. I'm getting so hungry. Yeah, I'm sure there's other things that I could say that I've been doing to help me, you know, freaking cleaning the house and things like that, but I feel like they're a bit of a given. I mean, probably most of the things I said are. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here because I've been rambling for far too long and I don't think I'm gonna end up cutting any of this out. But I hope you've almost found this video helpful so you don't feel quite so alone. It's a really shit situation. We're all in it together at the end of the day, and we just need to keep going, keep plodding along, doing what we need to do, washing our hands, not going out, and we'll get through this. That's what we've got to think. Just think of the end goal. Think of being able to enjoy summer outside with our friends and family. And if you're going out now and not staying at home, that's not going to happen. So just do your bit and we'll get through this. But yeah, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Like I say, my Instagram's linked down below, so feel free to message me at any point, and I will see you all in a few days.